Zing. Film critic Jason Gorber joins us in studio to talk about the winners and losers at last night's Golden Globes. Amy, Tina, how do you think they did?
I think they're fantastic. I've loved them for years. I think they did a really good job. One of their first jokes was they talked about Ricky Gervais, who a lot of people didn't like. They said, oh, he offended the Hollywood Foreign Press Association so much they brought him back for 2 more years. I mean, I thought it was a great joke. They really zinged it, and it did a good job. And I don't know if you noticed, Jessica Chastain in that clip makes an incredible face when she talked about it, and immediately that went viral. There was animated GIFs going all over that. So it's a good time. It's a great party.
Yeah, I laughed out loud when I saw that, and I also really like the Life of Pi joke. I think any woman could identify with that. Okay, let's talk about your favorite moment. What was it?
My favorite moment was a little bit weird. When Michael Haneke got up there and was getting an award from Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm just thinking, what is happening here? How does the art house director from Austria get an award from the former governor of California? It was just a weird moment, but there was some excellent stuff. I'm pleased Argo did so well. I'm a little disappointed Silver Linings didn't do quite as well.
Right, I know you're a big fan.
But again, Golden Globes, I mean, fundamentally is an incredibly weird event. It's where you have a whole bunch of performers sitting around drinking copious amounts of alcohol, congratulating themselves based on awards voted on by under 90 people who are this secret enclave called the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. So if you sit back and enjoy it as a show, it's a lot of fun.
Purely entertaining.
And absolutely, and sometimes that's totally fun. It is a popcorn and awards show. The Oscars is slightly more serious and slightly more staid, and some people don't like it as much. The Golden Globes, now that they're taking risks with their hosts, is actually a lot of fun just to sit and watch.
And I love the camera grabbing the reaction of both the winners and the losers, and as you point out, like someone like Jessica Chastain while she's listening to the open monologue. I want to ask you about the big surprise of the night for many, and that was the win for Best Picture. Argo. No one saw that coming.
I mean, Argo is a very strong film. It played the Toronto International Film Festival. It has a very big Canadian connection. A lot of people love the movie. But obviously, when you have Steven Spielberg there not winning for Lincoln, a lot of eyebrows are raised. Golden Globes, it should be noted actually.
Look at Ben Affleck.
Yeah, he's shocked. He has noted, and he had no. Not only was the speech clearly not prepared, he actually forgot to thank his executive producers, one of whom is George Clooney. Luckily for Ben Affleck, he has a wife who's quite famous who can go up and give the second part of his acceptance speech. Look, Argo's a perfectly good movie. There's no way it's going to win Best Picture for Oscar, which is a completely different voting procedure. I'm glad it's getting some love and will get people to actually see the film. Now, a lot of Canadians were actually quite upset at Argo for reasons saying that it wasn't actually accurate to the facts. Doesn't matter. It's a film that trades in historical fun. It's just a good, intense film. Watch it as a movie and try to turn off your brain a little bit about what the actual history was.
All right. Another moment that's getting a lot of buzz from last night is Jodie Foster's speech. And there seems to be 2 camps. You either loved it or you hated it. Actually, I was somewhere in the middle.
Right.
What was that about?
I don't pretend to understand what it's about, but I think that some people really responded well to it and think.
We've got a clip.
Great.
I guess I just have a sudden urge to say something that I've never really been able to air in public. So, declaration that I'm a little nervous about, but maybe not quite as nervous as my publicist right now, huh, Jennifer? You know, I'm just going to put it out there, right? Loud and proud, right? So I'm going to need your support on this. I am single.
Okay, so
What was the context of that statement? So, it's been long rumored and discussed that she is a lesbian, and as such, within Hollywood, that still has a certain cachet against it. Because of that, this was thought of for some people as her coming out. What she actually announced is that I'm no longer going to be an actress, and I want privacy. So for 12 minutes, she discussed the need for privacy, that she's been in this, she's 50 years old, and for 47 years, she's been within the midst of this Hollywood community. And she's like, I've lived my life, everybody who knows me and loves me knows exactly what my lifestyle is. I shouldn't have to tell you. So fundamentally, in a good way, that's what the speech was about. What's crazy about it is that she's doing it with Mel Gibson as her quote-unquote date, who himself is obviously tabloid fodder. Obviously, he has very serious problems with substance abuse, but he's also quite famously violent, anti-Semitic. People have accused him of being that. And so the dynamic within the Hollywood community is very weird. So if she wants to be private, which is totally legitimate, perhaps not doing a 12-minute speech. I understand absolutely the motivation, and I think it's an incredibly brave and wonderful thing that she did. She also did it in a way which is weird and off-settling, which is kind of perfect for Hollywood, frankly.
Okay, well said. Finally, you mentioned the Oscars.
Yes.
You're saying that you don't think last night was necessarily a harbinger of things to come?
Absolutely not. Well, let's put it this way. For the acting categories, for sure, you are going to see Hathaway win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. You're probably going to see Daniel Day-Lewis win for Best Actor. These are shoo-ins at Oscar time because the performances are so strong, almost anybody can pick them.
The script almost begs that you win an Oscar.
Absolutely. But if you look at how the voting procedures work for Hollywood Foreign Press and the Golden Globes, really it's quite random what they actually pick. They're doing it far more often for celebrity. That's why you have Johnny Depp showing up for The Tourist, a film most people absolutely despise, but they want to have Johnny Depp there. So in terms of a predictor, it's not very good at all, but in terms of a show and getting all these people together, they're much looser, much more relaxed. This is, for them, just a fun event. And if you just sit back and watch and see a bunch of stars and see how good George Clooney looked, it all worked out quite well.
Oh, yeah, they all look good. Jason Gorber, thank you so much.
Thanks so much, and we'll see you for the Oscars.